Hey, Ray, this is Alex Merced, developer advocate here at Dremio with another demonstration of cool SQL techniques. And this is one that's kind of unique to the Dremio platform because it takes advantage of the ability to do catalog level branching and merging within the Dremio platform. It's part of sort of Dremio's Nessie powered catalogs. Okay, and the cool thing is what you can do is you can branch your catalog, which means, and that covers multiple tables. So you're not creating a branch per table. You branch the entire catalog, you can make updates to the entire catalog, and then once you're done making those changes, you can merge them in. So here we'll show you an example. Okay, and again, since it's a Nessie powered catalog, this functionality does extend to any engines that can work with Nessie, allowing for that sort of type of workflow. Okay, so here we go. So in this example, we're doing is we're creating a set of sales data. So we have sales data. Okay, and we're gonna have a table with staging sales data. So this is the incoming data that we're going to theoretically ingest. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to insert some records into our staging sales data. Okay, our actual sales data table is going to be empty. Okay, so essentially this is sort of the first ingestion into the table. But the thing is that we want to make sure that we validate the data. So instead of just doing this on our main branch, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do this on a branch, okay, which we're going to, actually, let me change the name of that branch to match today's date. So that's going to be 0324. Let me just change all of these. But basically what we'll do is we'll create the branch, then we'll switch over to that branch to make our changes, okay. And then what we'll do is we're going to run a merge into statement because, again, this may not necessarily be the first ingestion. This may be the second, the third, the fourth, in which case we want to update records that changed and insert ones that weren't there before. Okay, and then we're going to be doing some validations, okay, such as making sure that how many of these have an invalid like amount, so like they have a sale that's less than 0. Okay, we're going to check to see, make sure that that they're not in the future, so they actually have a valid date. Okay, and once we've passed assuming that we've passed those validations, we then switch back to the main branch, and then we would merge this data back in. Okay, so what we're doing here actually is we're going to query that data before we make the merge so that we can see that the data is different on both branches. Okay, then we'll switch back over. Okay, merge the branch into our main branch, and then we'll query both again so you can see that now they'll match after that whole process is done. Okay, and again, all this code is available in the link in the video description. Let me just first set our context here to our January examples folder. There we go. And let's run the query. Okay, and again, this whole branching feature really enables lots of really cool possibilities. Not just sort of isolating and validating your ingestion in this way, but also allows you to create branches, to create sort of essentially zero copy clones for experimentation. You can use this you can also do tagging, which we'll do in a future video. So you can tag, the state of a particular catalog at a particular point, so you can easily replicate that state. There's a lot of really cool possibilities with this Nessie functionality that powers these catalogs in Dremio. Okay, so just about at the end of all of these queries. There's a couple more queries to go, and we're all good to go. Okay, so let's just walk through it. So again, we create our two tables. Okay, then we inserted rows into our staging table. We created our branch. Okay, so that was created. Okay, and basically there we switch over. So we just switched over to the branch. Then we ran our merge statement. We merged 3 rows. Okay, we found that there was one that had an invalid amount, one record. So theoretically, we would go back and fix it. Everything had a valid date, so there was nothing with an invalid date. Okay, so then basically what happens here is, let's just go here. We queried the original table, but on the main branch, you notice there's no records inside of it because, again, we haven't merged yet. So the state of that main branch, the production branch, which is where all your consumer queries will be coming into, is unchanged. So if there's any mistakes, any data that hasn't been cleaned up yet, they're not exposed to it. But if I query the branch, I can see my 3 records. Okay, now assuming that I've cleaned them up and I've addressed any issues that I found in my validations, I switch back to my main branch. I run the merge. Okay, and then I can see that now when I query the main branch, I do see the records now. And when I query both branches, they now match because that merge has occurred. All those transactions has moved over and become published to my production users. Okay, and that's all pretty cool. And the cool thing is that all of this is very visible. I can go over here to my Arctic catalogs. Okay, these are these Dremio internal catalogs, and I can go over to this particular catalog, and I can go over there and take a look at the branches that have been created, monitor the transactions that have occurred on them. Okay, so I can go, okay, I want to take a look at that branch that we just did, which is this one right here. I can go click on that. I can go monitor the data as it is on that branch, and so forth. So you offer a lot of really cool stuff when you're working with this set of features. So I'll see you all later. Have a great day and enjoy.